You might think that your boat doesn't stink, but I got news for you. Whenever you're ready. The truth is that most boats do stink, and we've been on a lot of really stinky boats. Even our own boat has been pretty stinky from time to time as well. But best you can do is try to avoid the things that will make your boat stinky. So here are a few of the common ways that your boat may be smelling and what you can do to try to avoid it or fix it.
So the biggest reason why your boat stinks in the cabin is water in the bilge. This boat, usually the bilge is bone dry. There's sump boxes under there, and when they fill up with water from the showers, and they fill up with water from the drip pans under the air conditioners, and if the sump box overflows for some reason, you know, if the output gets clogged or something like that, they'll overflow into that bilge, and then, you know, I'll come down on Friday night and it'll stink, and I'll know right to look in there, right, and dry it out, solve the problem, blow out the clogged line, whatever it is. I can smell that smell coming out. This was definitely the source. You know, that's then our boat doesn't normally stink at all.
All right, what's going on here?
When we got on the boat just now, I noticed it was kind of smelly in here, and then I took a look under here and I see there's some water in the bilge, and it's because the float switch was gummed up from over the winter. Yeah. And so it wasn't lifting up and kicking on, so it was overflowing through the lid. Yeah. Into the bilge. So I, you know, rapped on this a couple times until it loosened up and started spitting over the side, and now I'm cleaning up the water so the boat will stop smelling.
So this is one of the main reasons why people's boats stink.
Yeah, wet bilge is number one.
Yeah.
Unless there's something wrong with your toilet system,
right? Which
there isn't any problem on this boat, so it's wet bilge. Mm-hmm. And plus, it's a little pink because there was some pink sitting in here over the winter, and so that adds to the smell. So that's what I'm doing. The other thing that makes it stink is the water in the lines for the sinks and stuff like that. The hot water in the sink in the head. Nobody ever uses that, so there might be water sitting in that line for months, and then somebody turns the hot water on, and all of a sudden this cloud of.
So that happened to us earlier this season. We had a guest on board. So what can we do so that doesn't happen next time?
Well, so first of all, we have a filter on the hose that brings water into the boat.
Right.
This marina has well water, so it has that rotten egg smell. Yeah. So that little blue filter does a really good job of getting rid of that smell. So, you know, you filter the water coming into the boat, and when we fill up the water tank, that we use that filtered water also. You know, so don't just bring a hose from the dock and fill up your tank. You know, run it through that filter first, so that rotten egg smell doesn't get in the tank. Right. The other thing we do is in the spring, I use this blue stuff, this spring fresh stuff. I pour a gallon of that in the tank, fill it up with water, run it through all the lines, and you know, which cleans. You know, it helps remove the pink that I had in the tank from winter, which, you know, is a little stinky after a while. Oh yeah, it totally stinks. So you got to, you know, use that blue stuff to clean all the lines, and I think I may have forgotten to clean the hot water line to the.
Definitely forgot to clean the hot water line.
So that made it worse.
Yeah.
And then you know, once that's all clean, you flush all that out, and then you put filtered water back in the tank. You know, use them regularly. Use the hot and the cold side of this every sink and every everything on the boat, so that you don't have months old water.
Because we never have that problem with the sink in the galley or the shower, because we use the hot water on that a lot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So the other thing is when you flush the toilet, Man, it's time to replace that head filter. The stuff goes into the holding tank, and there's a vent on the top of that tank to let the air out. As the tank fills up, the air has to come out, right? So it comes out that little vent, and you know, if you smell that, it's like the worst smell in the world.
Yeah.
Out here, you'll smell it.
There's always going to be a guy on the dock that has a stinky, like bad vent filter. And
right. Yeah. There's supposed to be a filter in there in that line, in that vent line. You got to replace it maybe every 2 years or so.
It's $50. Replace it every year. It's like, how big of a deal?
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you know
you
it
could.
when it's time.
You could.
When you smell it, it's time to replace that filter.
Right. So always do a smell test. Have somebody sitting in your cockpit when you go to flush and let them tell you it stinks, man.
You will know if you're smelling that, and you know it. You don't have to put treatment in the head.
No.
I mean, you know, they sell all these products to like make it smell better. It's like, no. It's
if your vacuum flush is working properly, and that's a whole other video we have on that as well.
Yeah.
We'll link that.
You shouldn't smell anything.
There should be no issue.
I don't put any product in there.
Yeah.
I don't smell anything in the boat. I'll tell you, if you're running around with a full head tank and you're bouncing around on the bay and it's sloshing up and getting that filter wet, that wrecks it immediately.
That's true.
Right? So
yeah.
you don't want to run around with a full head tank. So on some boats, it's hard to locate that filter, but find out where it is, and then it's an easy job to just, you know, unscrew, put a new one in, and, you know, it's $50. You know, all the marine stores have them. Mm-hmm. You know, you can get them on you know, online.
We'll link that below too.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy job. So, and then, you know, you shouldn't smell anything back here. You know, we don't smell anything back here, no matter, you know, how nasty the stuff in our holding tank is. You know, if you're smelling it, you gotta fix it. The last thing is the wet dog. I don't have any solution for that. You're gonna have a stinky wet dog.
She's stinking up our boat, honey. What are we gonna do?
Give her a bath once in a while. Oh, here she comes.
We had a designated towel.
Look, here she comes. She's probably a little damp from the rain, so it's gonna be a stinker.
Oh, she's gonna be stinky again. What are you gonna do, Gracie? Hi, baby. You're so stinky.
So those are the main reasons why your boat stinks. Mostly you can prevent it. You know, I mean, some boats, the engines are underneath the cabin, so you know, and that part of the bilge is almost always wet because of various you know, drips in the engine compartment or whatever. But so it might be hard to keep that super dry, but you know, besides that, it should be pretty easy to just do basic maintenance, keep things dry, and you know, replace your filters and all those things, and then you should be able to keep your boat from stinking.
Except for the stinky boat dog.
Except for the stinky boat dog.
Yeah. Now it's time for a drink.
Where's my drink, honey?
Let's go get it.